Welcome back to the channel, y'all. This is just going to be a tool talk of more or less, it ain't what you got, it's what you know to make a dollar. When I was younger, I always wanted Snap-on tools, and finally when I started making some money, I started buying Snap-on tools. I accumulated a big old box, but I ended up probably 2 or 3 years after I got the toolbox and tools to fill it up. I had a bunch of money in that, but I got an offer I could not refuse, and I sold mainly everything I had, but I did buy back a bunch after that. I really didn't even want to sell it because it was just more or less I was going to collect it, and I wasn't even working with them much. I liked them so much, and everybody had hyped them up so much, which they're good quality tools. But to me, they are overpriced. I'm probably going to get a bunch of haters on I'm saying that, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show y'all something. I just put some sockets of different kind of brands here. I own just about every brand from generic on to the best, and I have tried everything out there. And I have made just as much money with some of the cheaper tool brands. Believe it or not. I've got old tools. I've got my daddy's tools, my grandpa's tools I inherited. I've got old Williams, wrenches, sockets. I've got so many there. Let me go ahead and quit talking. Go ahead and let me show you some stuff. Let's start with this socket right here. Maybe the lighting's good enough to let y'all see. That's Craftsman. That's a Duracraft. It's an old socket. Awesome quality. I just put some of my old ones out here too. That is Sears. Maybe y'all can see how old that is. This is Master brand. Wish my light was a little better out here. I'm right here on the carport and I've had a light to blow. There's Proto. I got the complete sets too. This is another one. It's called Companion. They've got a ratchet to me that feels so good in your hand. Some of y'all may know about that. Companion is a good ratchet too. It's like there's a lot of tools that's underrated that'll get the job done. Cobalt. Been catching a lot of flack because I've been showing stuff about Cobalt and Hart tools and wearing hyper tough gloves. It's not how much your gloves are worth. It's really your hands that's doing the work. If you got enough knowledge to do something, you can make a dollar. Even though right now the economy is messed up. If you don't know how to do nothing, you can't put on a pair of Snap-on gloves, pay $100 for them, and still make you Superman in the tool business or mechanic business. It just don't work. I can put on a cheap pair of gloves, do just as good quality as work as I can with the highest gloves out there. It's the moral of the story. So y'all youngsters, if any of y'all's watching, I've been catching a lot of flack. I'm an old school mechanic. I've had high dollar tools. I've had mediocre. And I've had some bad tools, but I know the bad tools from the good ones. You can make good money with tools like that, even Pittsburgh, Quinn, you name it. Them, just like the top of the line tools right now, Harbor Freight. And I know y'all know the brand I'm talking about, Icon. Them's good tools. They're overpriced to me, just like Snap-on is. I got Mac tools. I got Matco. Let's see what this is. This is the old one. That's just the old Craftsman. But the old Craftsman was good quality. Then Gear Wrench. Rashable wrenches. To me, that's a good brand. It just really depends what you want to use. This has been used so much. Thorson. That's a good quality one. Another Cobalt. Let's see what we got here. Bench top. Back when we started four-wheeler shop years ago, worked on motorcycles and four-wheelers and three-wheelers and stuff. Then Benchtop got the job done with using them a bunch. Old Stanley. I made a bunch of money with Stanley. Just what I'm saying. There's a Mac. That's a Mac right there. You can have the best tools in the world and just spend thousands and top of thousands of dollars. And if you don't have the mechanical skills right now to use them tools, you're just going to have them sitting around. You won't be doing nothing. A lot of people's been popping off me all week long. I've had to remove a bunch of comments cussing me too. I just don't see no sense in that whatsoever. Somebody don't want to watch the channel, they just need to go ahead and click off. I try to be nice and good to everybody. That's New Britain. That's an underrated socket set right there too. Good quality. Westward. Task Force. Master Force. What's that is? That's another proto. More brands than this. I'm going to get everything out. So I got to put all these back and everything. And I've got them. Main thing is to take care of your tools and stuff like that. Just like them. Them's dusty, but they've been out. They've been sitting for a while. I got to wipe them off. Them is underrated too. Tech Correct. Them I don't think they're sold no more. That's a 1/4 inch set with a ratchet. It's got an extension, I think. But that little ratchet, it feels awesome in your hands too. Yeah, it's got that extension. It's like them hard. Well, good job done. Just really depends what you want to buy and how much money you want to spend. I was just going to do a little tool talk. I don't know if I ever show my toolboxes all the way. I just don't know if I'll ever do that. But I've got, just like that mat coat right there. There's a mat coat right there. I've tried out and tested everything. And don't get me wrong, them higher tool brands I snap on, they are awesome tools and stuff. But honestly, I've made more money with like Craftsman years ago, them, Benchtop, Stanley, and stuff like that. Just like that generic impact wrench. I think is awesome. Got that thing for hardly nothing on Amazon. I think about $70 tax and all, shipping right to the front door. Popped the flywheel off DeWalt. I've got major DeWalt tools, which they're very good. Their socket sets, ratchet sets is awesome too. They're heavy duty. They're like underrated on their socket sets and ratchets. I think they're underrated on that. If people knew how good they was, they'd be using them more. They're pretty sockets too, but everybody uses their like cordless, all their tools like that right there. Some of the best. Them in Milwaukee, some of the best in the world. But them right there, just like their sockets, they're awesome. But it just really depends on the mechanic, what the mechanic wants to use. But Pittsburgh gets the job done. I've used Pittsburgh. I'm going to tell y'all something. I made some money with Pittsburgh. Cheap graded tools. They didn't hardly break on me. I think I broke one 14 millimeter, but there was a reason behind that. It was like rusted on and everything else. And I made that thing come off. It ended up breaking on a 4-wheeler. They'd been under mud and everything for a long time. Just rusted out. Never been off before. If y'all real mechanics, y'all know what I'm saying. Sometimes that stuff just breaks. But that's just giving you a little idea. There's tons more I could show you and everything. Just like this, is just the old toolbox right here. Speaking of Pittsburgh right there, I got Stanley underneath there. And I got SK tools. All kind of sets. That's Flare Wrenches Pittsburgh over there. Stubbies, you name it. You gotta have it if you're gonna work on something. And I won't tell everybody I'm not bragging whatsoever, but if you hang around this long, if you want somebody that's real, that ain't bull crapping you. I've been an ATV mechanic since, I don't know, I was young when my dad learned me how to work on 4-wheelers and stuff and 3-wheelers back during the heyday, which I know how to work on vehicles too, but I really try to stay away from that, like, unless I got to work on something. Same thing with lawnmowers. Lawnmowers is easy to work on, but I only work on for myself. I don't work on for the public. I did it one time on 4-wheelers and 3-wheelers and motorcycles, though, for many years of my life. But I don't work on for the public no more. But that gives you an idea what I think. And I'm just like I said, I've been in business for a long time. And I know right now, it really depends. If you're mechanically inclined, then you could get Pittsburgh. And right now, make just as much money with Pittsburgh tools as you can. No matter what any naysayers that hates Harbor Freight right now. They may not like the tools, but they ain't no sense in bullcrapping. You could actually get a whole set of them, Husky, so on and so on like that. A cheaper brand and get them and turn around and turn out just as much money on that right there. Because when you put a lot more money in them tools, you don't want to use them as much. You're like, that's how I did with my Snap-on. I didn't really want to use them. But I don't have near as many Snap-ons as I used to. I had a pile of them at one time. Whole toolbox and a bunch of tools. But if you've hung around this long, thanks for watching. And I just want to share a little bit with you. And I'm going to show a bunch more and show you me working on some too and everything and tearing the engines apart and everything else. If you're in this kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And thanks for taking the time watching. Y'all have a good night.